Hi, Statesman Nation. We're sitting down with Aaron Scott, head men's wrestling coach, as we prepare for the 2023-2024 season. Coach, thanks for sitting down for a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before we get into talking about this upcoming year, let's recap last year. You know, a lot of good things coming out of it, and then obviously a really good off season to build off of going into this year. So let's backtrack 12 months or 9 months, whatever.
Yeah, last year was my best team up to that point. We had a rough patch in there. I think we had our best lineup the very first duel,
right,
and then we didn't have everybody back in there until the conference tournament again. Yep. We had a really rough patch in January where I think we were 3-4 weights. We had guys that were banged up, and we had to forfeit. So that kind of slowed us down. But they really stepped it up come conference time. So we had some younger guys at the lower weights, which we kind of knew that coming off the year prior. We were weaker there and gave up quite a few points there. So strategically recruited some tough kids at those lower weights, and 3 true freshmen stepped in and made a difference. You know, bolstered our lineup up and helped us in duels. And then come conference time, that's when everybody was back healthy again. We had a good, solid 4th place finish at conference. You know, we had a couple of guys that were a match or 2 away from qualifying for nationals. You know, that was kind of our goal to get a couple more, but 4 national qualifiers, that was the most that I've ever had.
Yep.
And then going to the national tournament, all 4 of those guys at least won a match.
Yep.
You know, so that's a pretty solid season, you know, and something that we can definitely build upon.
Definitely. And then off-season wise, you know, obviously you're going on recruiting and didn't maybe have the exact same as the women as far as pulling in from Iowa Western, but you did have some additions there in addition to obviously going after you know, freshmen as well as you know, junior college kids. But let's talk about, you know, what you were looking for in the off season.
Yeah, so we were looking for just some more depth and kind of fill in some holes that we were going to have and that we were kind of seeing was going to transpire. You know, we've had quite a few guys jumping around weight classes this summer and this season, so we kind of knew that might be the case. You know, one thing that we really needed filled was 149. Right. You know, we knew that 149 was a tough cut for Hargrove last year, and that kind of dampened his ability to compete in a lot of the tournaments and kind of prevented him from improving a lot too. So we knew 149 was going to be something that we were going to need, and you know, heavyweight, you know, we're pretty thin there, but really, and then outside of that, we were looking at getting depth all the way through, and we feel like we have that now. You know, last year we didn't quite have the depth that we needed to where we spoke about it earlier, where we were forfeiting in some duels. Now I feel like we have a good, solid backup for every single weight class. So, and I think, you know, we just tried to get just add depth and then get a good guy at every single weight class. You know, so that when that time comes, you know, we're reloading and not rebuilding.
Exactly.
And then just getting better. You know, we had probably 10, 12 guys that stayed for the summer and trained and, you know, stayed in town, worked in town, and we're coming in over the summer and getting some work in and making progress and making gains.
Good deal. All right, let's break down. Let's see what this Statesman lineup looks like. So starting at 125.
Yeah, 125, we're going to have Dylan McConville starting off for us. He was a JUCO transfer from SWAC for us last year. Seen a little bit of action. This year he's going to see a little bit more. We're going to have Brendan Nance also that's going to probably be in the mix a little bit. He has not made that transition back down to 125 yet. We're hoping to see that this weekend. So once he joins the mix and gets down to weight, he'll be those two will be sharing time. But those guys will be pushing each other and helping each other get better. You know, they've improved a lot over last year, just having more experience, having some success, believing in themselves, and just kind of seeing what this team can do.
Sure, definitely. All right, 133.
133, we've had a little bit of shifting. Last year we had Sabricino at 133. He has moved up a weight class, and now we have two Iowa Wesleyan transfers in Lane Scorpel and Brendan Ferencik. Lane Scorpel's returning national qualifier at 125. He's currently one of our 5 guys ranked in the nation right now. And Brendan is right behind him, pushing him, nipping at the heels. So we're excited for those 2 guys.
For sure.
That's, you know, whenever you have a guy moving up due to growth, to have, you know, a national qualifier step in and fill that void, you know, that makes you feel really good.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
coach.
You did something right.
So I feel really good about, you know, Lane and Brendan and. At 133, you know, last year, this is probably my first year as a head coach where we don't have a true freshman in our starting lineup or planning on our starting lineup. So we have everybody, that's experienced.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a good feeling as well. And you know, we've, you know, worked, you know, 5 years to this point, so it feels good.
There you go. All right, 141.
Yeah, 141. Hector Diaz won the wrestle-offs. You know, he's going to be starting out those first couple of duels. Carson Jensen, transfer from Western Wyoming. He's going to be spending some time there. We talked about Sabricino. You know, he's up a weight class from 133. He's battling some injuries right now. I think once he gets healthy, he'll probably see the lineup there. But, you know, Hector, he's a guy that's been here for 3.5 years now, and I'm proud of Hector. He's improved a lot, and he's a hard worker, and he's one of those guys that has heart, does everything you say, and gives his best effort. And it's exciting to see the progress that he's made and the success that he's starting to have. You know, I'm really happy for him, and I can't wait to kind of see what he's going to do this season and how those 3 guys are going to help each other get better and push each other, and you know, just keep things rolling. You know, that momentum. You know, I know a few years ago we were weak in our weight classes, and that caused us to kind of start off in some holes. You know, we were starting, you know, 12 to 18 points in the hole, and then you know we got strong in the middle weights. Well, if we can get that ball rolling from the get-go, you know, we can just keep and then as we get into our middle weights, we can really you know, pick up some steam.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're getting to the middleweights now with 149. So, like you said, Cam moved up, so he had an opening there. So let's talk about those guys.
Yeah. So 149. Again, we have 2 transfers from Iowa Wesleyan moving in. That's again very convenient. Quentin Aney and Drew Evans. Both of those guys are solid guys. Drew has a couple more years of experience, spending some time at Indian Hills and then Iowa Wesleyan and then to us. So he has a few more years experience. Quentin redshirted last year, but Quentin won the wrestle-off. He's going to be the starting man for us. And both of those guys have a lot of potential. Quentin's a redshirt freshman, so he's going to have 4 years with us. But yeah, those guys had some success last year. Drew was a guy that wrestled in the conference tournament last year here, won some matches, you know, so he's not new to 149 in the conference, so he has some experience that we feel confident that he can step in and support the team. And then, you know, Quentin's also, he, you know, has wrestled a couple of matches and went to some open tournaments, so we're excited for to see what those guys can do.
Yeah, definitely. All right, 157.
Yeah, 157. We've got Cale Bunce is going to be our starter, returning national qualifier, blood round guy. You know, 1 match away from being an All-American last year, and I'm excited for him. You know, he's really starting to, I feel like, hit his stride. You know, he's wrestling really tough right now. He's the leader for our team. He's just doing, you know, he's bought in. He's doing all the right things for us and really leading this team in the right way and the right direction. And, you know, our expectations is that, you know, we believe he can be on the podium this year.
Sure.
And, you know, and I think as long as we can keep him healthy and, you know, injury-free, we believe that he can get there. And I think when you have a guy like that that's in your room and leading by example, that's just going to help elevate everybody else. And then last year, what really helped Kale have a successful season last year was sharing some time with Steven Skews. We had two really tough guys at 157. Yep. So when someone did need a break or someone was banged up a little bit, having somebody that can step in and fill that void is important. And Braden Paglow is going to be that guy for us for us this year. Last year he was a redshirt, got a few matches, spent most of his time at 65, so he's cutting down. I'm excited for him. He's improved a lot over this summer. Sure. I feel like he's kind of filled out and kind of starting to get that, not that he was weak, but he's starting to get that man strength, I feel like, and he's going to be a strong 57-pounder. I think just from, him wrestling with Kale and Hargrove and Matheson a lot, he's improved. Yep. He's gotten better, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I like what I'm seeing from him so far this year.
Yep, definitely. All right, let's move up to 65. Nope. Yeah, 65.
Yep.
Wait, we were at.
Yeah. So 165. That Cameron Hargrove's moving up 2 weight classes, which he's Matheson Mead's had that position for the last 2 years. We're redshirting him this year, and which works out really well for Cam to move up and fill that spot there. Cam's a 2-time national qualifier for us. He's made it to the blood round. He's right there with Kale being on the cusp of being an All-American, and he's looking really good. Yeah. He's looking really good.
Obviously a big jump there.
It's a big jump.
16 pounds. It's not just, 2 small little weight classes. That's 2 really big weight classes there you're talking.
Right, yeah. And he's, he was, so he was 149 last year, but then this off season he was spending time in the 80s. Yeah. So he's put in, and he spent some time there to, to kind of fill out. Mm-hmm. He's starting to fill out, and seeing him feeling good and being at 100% and having energy and not having to focus on losing weight, he's looking good. Yeah. I know that it'll, he might have to make a few adjustments.
Sure.
I've personally had to make a jump in wrestling in college, and there's a little bit of a style difference. Yeah. And a size, obviously a size difference, so you have to kind of adapt to that. And I don't think that he's gonna have that big of a trouble or too big any problems there, but there may be a little bit of a transition there. Sure. But I fully believe that he can be on the podium here this year at 165. So, and then kind of serving as his backup, we'll have Jesus Diaz Pavone from Iowa Wesleyan. He's he's a senior. He's got some experience at this level, and is looking really good in the room. And also we have a JUCO transfer and Ryan Van Donsler from Nyack. I see those 3 guys kind of battling it out. Ryan didn't wrestle in our wrestle-offs. He's had an injury, but I would have really liked to see what that would have looked like. Right. Just to see how those guys would do against each other. But those guys push each other in the room, and Ryan is, he's a good kid. He works hard, and so I see him spending some time at 65. With that little extra depth at 165, we might share some time. He might share some time at 174, depending on what team needs are. But we've got some good solid depth there at 65.
All right, 174, another qualifier. You got McHale, so let's talk about 74.
Yeah, McHale, he's we truly believe that he can be on the podium this year as well. 2-time national qualifier, finally got a win at nationals last year, so I know that was big for him and his confidence. One thing that we were looking for with McHale, and something was big for him, was putting on some weight. He's he's a big guy. Yeah. But once he gets to that national tournament, he is a little bit undersized. So a lot of this year we were, I was kind of pushing him to get a little bit bigger, to put on a little bit more weight, fill out a little bit more. and I feel like that will really help him. And he, had some injuries last year. I feel like that, prevented him from training as much as we could. So I feel like that missed training kind of affected him a little bit last year. So keeping him healthy and big, he's going to have a great season.
Yep.
And then, so behind Mikhail, might have Ryan spending some time up a weight, or we've got Kendall Pugh, who is a true freshman coming in. He's making his way down to 174. He wrestled off at 184 in the wrestle off. So he's an Iowa boy. We feel confident. He's got a good, solid foundation. He's got some good experience. He was, injured in high school here and towards ACL. Got a tickle there. But I feel confident in him.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, 184, the last of our 4 returning qualifiers. You got Branson Bottorff, which is still very strange for me to say that he's an 84-pounder, but
right.
It's he's down there. He no longer looks skinny. He looks like an 84-pounder now.
Yeah. So, solid guy in Branson. He's probably been one of the most improved wrestlers for us over the last few years, kind of right there with Hector Diaz. But yeah, we were kind of surprised. We were kind of thinking he would be coming in at 197.
Sure.
He was in training over the summer, and I think he's just that training on in the wrestling room throughout the summer. I think that just kind of helped keep his weight down and keep him in shape. And then once he got back, in the full swing of things, his weight just kind of started melting off. So kind of excited to see what he can do at 184. And I think this will probably be the best suited weight class because, when he first came in, he was a heavyweight for us.
Yeah.
He was like 260.
Yeah. Big heavyweight, yeah.
Big heavyweight, yeah. So 260, down 80 pounds. He's looking really good. And he's finally, again, when you move weight classes, there's a transition in style.
Yeah,
and
especially from heavyweight.
Yeah, especially from heavyweight. So for him to, that first year at 197, when he split seasons, so he made that transition at semester time. So for one half of the year he was heavyweight, and the other half of the year he was 97. And then last year was that full year at 97. Towards the end, he really started making that transition into a 97-pounder. And that then had helped him make that transition into a 184-pounder. Yeah. So he's someone that we're excited about. He has a gas tank, and normally he's getting guys called for stalling. And that he wears guys down. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely something that we're excited to see. I think he'll be able to do that better now than ever because of the size that he's at now, and that he's really at the appropriate weight class. So I just see that helping him out. And behind him we have another heavyweight that has dropped down to 184. So Cameron Mitchell, this is his 5th year here. He spent the previous 4 years at heavyweight, and then
another big heavyweight.
Another big heavyweight. Yeah, he was like 240, 250.
Yeah.
He has made his way down. He wrestled off at 197, but he's kind of like Branson, still losing weight. And again, Cam was a strong heavyweight, and he was athletic. So I'm excited to see once we get him down to an appropriate weight class what he can do. But we feel really confident in those two guys' abilities to hold that weight class down for us. And and Branson, being a returning national qualifier, we're excited. We believe that he can be right back there at the show and make a little bit more noise this year.
Definitely. All right, 97, you've got a returner back off of a red shirt. So let's talk about Jesse and et cetera.
Yeah, so, again, anytime you have a returner and a national qualifier vacate a spot, that makes you a little nervous. But, we've got Jesse Schwery jumping back in the lineup for us. So, yeah, we redshirted him last year, but we also redshirted him because he tore his ACL before the season. So
kind of forced.
Yeah, forced redshirt there. So yeah, so he's looking good. He is still a little rusty. He hadn't done a lot for the past year. So getting him back into shape, getting him back into his groove, and back to the way that he wrestles is kind of what's been our focus. Mm-hmm. And he's been responding well. I think it might take a few competitions. Sure. Practice is a little different. You're really able to start tweaking things and really seeing what you need to work on after getting into a competition. Yeah. So, we're excited. He did have, his true freshman year, he had some success, and he was close to qualifying for nationals. He placed at the conference tournament, had double-digit wins for us, and represented us well. Yeah. So we're confident in his ability. And then behind him we have Caden Kaiser, who is a transfer from Iowa Wesleyan. He's an Iowa boy. That they had a great wrestle-off match. It was close. Those guys are neck and neck, and that's gonna keep Jesse moving forward, and Jesse's going to keep pushing, Caden, because Caden wants, those guys want that spot, and they're going to battle and they're going to push each other to get better. So I think that's something that we have somewhat lacked a little bit in previous seasons, is that guy right behind you nipping at your heels, and we've got that. So that's going to keep all of our guys on their toes and improving all the way throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in a bad way where they're looking over their shoulder, but
it's great. Yeah. For the team, when it's all said and done, somebody's going to come out a lot stronger.
Yes. Yep.
For sure. Yep. All right, let's finish it off with heavyweight.
Yeah, heavyweight. We've got transfer from Iowa Wesleyan, Isaac Boucher. That's going to be our starting man there, and he's every bit of 285. He's got a cut to make 285. So he's a big heavyweight. He's a guy that's had some experience, so he's going to step in. And I feel like he's gonna make some noise right away. Yeah. And he's been looking really good in the wrestling room right now. For partners, he has Max Diaz, who's a fifth-year senior for us. He's had a lot of success through the years. Is a little injured right now. We're battling, trying to keep him as healthy as we can. Probably gonna require surgery, or is having surgery here in December. So Max is going to be somebody that is going to help push Isaac, and then if Isaac needs a break, then we feel like Max is going to be able to step in and fill that void. But until Max gets healthy, Isaac's going to be that front runner, and Isaac's good. He's been last year in the conference. He was right there with some of the top guys. Heavyweight was arguably has been one of the toughest weight classes in our conference, and last year was no different, and he was hanging right there with some of the best guys in the country, and beat some good guys too. Definitely. So we feel that having him here and then having some good practice partners, some people for him to train with, that he's going to have a good year and just another year of experience.
Definitely. All right, let's break down the schedule a little bit. It's probably not a lot of changes. Obviously, you have so many duels that you have to have. But let's highlight a couple of the tournaments that you're really excited about going to.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this first weekend, Falcon Invite. Yeah. That's grown in size. So they used to limit us to how many guys we can take, and now they've opened that back up. And there's more teams coming this year. So we're going to see some of our conference foes. I know Grandview's taken all of their guys down there. They've never been there before. Gotcha. Central Methodist has taken all of their guys down there, and they've never been there before. So that kind of gives us an idea of what we can see throughout the year.
Yeah,
so
quick barometer. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be exciting, and I'm just excited to see these guys get out there and see how they do and compete, and kind of been looking forward to this all year long. But yeah, so probably two of the best tournaments besides the national tournament is, the Falcon Invite and then the Grandview Open.
Yeah.
We've got the Missouri Valley Invite, which is really good, but I like the Falcon Invite. It's at the venue for the national tournament, so our guys get to go there and get an opportunity to see what that feels like, and wrestle in that. I think that helps.
Yes.
And then Grandview Open is a tough one. It's a preseason national tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri Valley Invite's a mid-season national tournament, so we always look forward to that. And I look forward to all of our duels.
Yeah.
Really. I think this is our strongest lineup, top to bottom, that I've had, and to have the depth that we have now, I'm excited that we're gonna, we've had some good duels, where I think this year, like, we have the potential to have some really good duels.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting, I think, week in and week out, and I think that's due in part that our conference is tough.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't understand is, like, our freshmen, anyways, like in high school, you have some good kids, like, very sparingly, and then you have some, like, off matches, or you have some forfeits here and there. Once you get to our conference, everybody's tough. Everybody's tough. Like, there's no easy matches. There's no average Joes that you get to wrestle. Yeah. So every week is tough and a battle, and we wrestle a lot of good teams. And when we go to tournaments, it's Midwest wrestling.
Yeah.
We see all the divisions, and Iowa has one of the best teams in every single division. So we get tested every single week and every single opportunity.
For sure.
So we're excited for challenge. Our guys step up, and I've been we've pushed. This is probably close to the hardest that we've pushed any of our teams so far, and these guys have responded really well, and they've done it with class and grace and good attitude. It makes coaching fun.
Sure.
And when they are getting things done in the classroom and being good young men outside of the classroom, that's even better.
Yeah.
So we're blessed with all really good guys, and that are a family. And we were a little nervous about that, having the amount of transfers.
Sure.
This is the most transfers that we've ever had. We were a little nervous. You got to have a good, strong culture and a good family before you can have that sort of influx of new people. And they've responded really well. Everybody's bought in. We've Kale, being a good leader, has done that, and I'm just really excited. Can't wait. We leave tomorrow, so I'm ready.
There you go. Well, you basically put a bow on it, so I won't ask you to put a bow on it. So, all right. Once again, head coach Aaron Scott here of the men's wrestling program. Really excited to get them going down at Friends Falcon Invite in Wichita, Kansas. So a lot of opportunities. Just a handful of meets at home. So good opportunities to catch them here in the Penn Activity Center. But best of luck, Coach.
Thanks, Wade.
And we'll keep tabs on you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.